What's up, Bruins fans? I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. Today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the fact that Bruins fans on social media will not stop talking about Leon Draisaitl to the Boston Bruins. And Vegas isn't helping. When the Ullmark trade rumors started, many fans were quick to jump to a trade scenario of Linus Ullmark plus prospects for Leon Draisaitl. Now, we've seen what Ullmark can bring back with regards to assets, and I think it's safe to say there was no trade scenario that involved Ullmark going to Edmonton for Leon Draisaitl. Las Vegas odds right now have the Boston Bruins the front runner to be Leon Draisaitl's next team. I need to stress that those are based on the needs and future cap and nothing more. I have seen zero insiders around the NHL even whisper that Leon Draisaitl will be a Boston Bruin. I think they're also based on knowing how passionate Bruin fans are and their willingness to place a bet on it. I want to compare it to like every year when Vegas gives good odds to the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the Cup. We all know that isn't going to happen, but all those Leaf fans are going to place a bet on it, and then Vegas gets to take their money. Leon has stated after his Stanley Cup Final Game 7 loss, "I'm going to give the most boring answer here," he said. "I'm obviously going to sit down with my agents here and talk to the Oilers, see what their plan, see what our plan is, and just go from there. Obviously, I haven't had time to talk or even think about it. I wasn't on my mind a lot lately. It's just something that is going to take a little bit of time to figure out what I want, what the Oilers want, what everyone wants, and then go from there and figure something out." Asked if he would think of signing with another team, he said, "I mean, Edmonton has the only chance to sign me, so I guess they are the first. Yeah, we'll see. I'll leave it at that. Obviously, I love being an Oiler more than anything. I'll leave it at that." Draisaitl is known for not holding back when talking to reporters and speaking his mind. If he says he wants to be an Oiler, I truly think he does. I highly doubt the Oilers don't want him back, and I think their number one priority this offseason will be to sign him to extension. What would an extension look like, though? Bench Rates has his value at $12 million for the next contract, which isn't chump change. Does Edmonton have room? I think they would make room to bring Draisaitl back. You don't let players like him walk, and having him and McDavid is a luxury they don't want to be without. Draisaitl played the Stanley Cup Final with a broken rib and a hand injury, so the stories of him not playing well can be shelved because he gave it everything and had left it all on the ice. Draisaitl is a top 5 player in the NHL, so of course fan bases would be swooning over a chance to acquire him. He's only 28 years old and already has 850 career NHL points. He is known as one of the best passers in the league and one of the toughest players to play against. If the Bruins did land Draisaitl, he would be a game changer, but the cost to acquire him would be astronomical. If you're the Oilers, no matter what you get back, you lose the trade. GMs always say when they're trading the best player in a deal, they lose every time. Are the Oilers even thinking of moving him? I don't think they are. Many on socials say they are, but no one in Edmonton's front office has said they would in fact move him or even think about moving him. All they've said is they want to extend him. Could I see Edmonton moving him? The only way I see Edmonton moving Draisaitl would be if he let the club know he has no intentions of re-signing in Edmonton. That would force Edmonton to look at their options. We're talking about a team that just went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. If you're Edmonton, you might even load up instead of moving him and go on another run. Edmonton knows they have one of the best teams in the league and would need to ask themselves, do they have a better shot with him in the lineup or without? I think the answer is obvious, so the team would have to blow them away with a package for them to even think about moving him. Not to mention, Draisaitl holds all the cards, as he has a no-move clause in his contract, so he would dictate which team he goes to, and it was even made available which team he could play for. And if he didn't want to go to Boston, that doesn't play into Boston's favor. It could play in his favor if he only wants to go to Boston, like in the Taylor Hall deal, but these things don't always happen. So let's look at what the Boston Bruins would have to offer to make this deal. The internet has already started speculating, but I think it would cost them a lot to make this work. It would have to start with McAvoy and go from there, and I don't even know if the Bruins could put a package together that wouldn't cripple the franchise. I would think that Edmonton would want players that could go in the lineup now because their cup window is right now. Ty Anderson recently put up a post that I would love to do a deep dive into sometime, but he said, "The thing that stands out to me here is Sweeney doesn't get bailed out like other GMs." I agree with him though, because we see all these GMs easily ship away problems they've had, and then Sweeney is trying to get assets back from a former Vezina winner, and he gets all his bluffs called. Ty isn't saying Sweeney is a bad GM, but maybe wanted to do a deep dive into the process and maybe even know how Sweeney is perceived by other GMs. I feel Sweeney has to work harder than other GMs sometimes to get assets because not every deal he can make can be a steal like the Taylor Hall trade. Do you, as a fan of the Boston Bruins, feel confident that Sweeney could even get the deal done? Sweeney has done a very good job over the years re-signing players or even walking away from signing players before they become a bad deal. I'm not saying he's never done a bad deal. And honestly, I'm not saying he's the best GM in the world, but his good deals outweigh his bad ones. I feel a heck of a lot more comfortable signing Draisaitl as a UFA after next season than working out a trade to acquire him. This is just my opinion of the whole Leon to Boston thing, because I can't even call it a rumor right now because I feel like it's a pipe dream, but I couldn't ignore it any longer. To stay up to date in all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks regarding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel because I won't miss a beat and I'll always keep you up to date. I'll see you next time.